The fish market buzzed with life, the briny scent of the sea clinging to John's stall like a second skin. For decades, he'd risen before dawn, his calloused hands arranging glistening salmon and silvery mackerel with care. The neighborhood adored him, not just for his wares, but for the warmth he tucked into every transaction. Yet loneliness gnawed at him. His wife's passing years prior had left his small apartment hollow, the silence broken only by the ticking clock. One frost-kissed morning, a shadow flickered at the edge of his stall. A scrawny tabby, fur-matted and ribs visible beneath patches of missing hair, sat statue still. Its eyes, golden and sharp, tracked every customer. John tossed it a sardine, but the cat didn't flinch. It wasn't begging. It was studying. Days bled into weeks. The cat became a fixture, watching as crumpled bills changed hands for fish. John named him Ghost for his quiet persistence. Then one dawn, Ghost darted forward, a maple leaf clamped in his jaws. He leapt onto the counter, dropping it defiantly at John's feet. The gesture was absurd, yet something in the cat's expectant gaze cracked John's composure. "You think this'll pay, eh?" John chuckled, voice thick. Ghost's ear twitched. The leaf, edges browned by autumn, trembled in the breeze. He's mimicking them, John realized. This creature, starved and shunned, had decoded commerce in the only way he knew. Tears pricked John's eyes. With a shaky hand he sliced a sliver of tuna. "For your trouble," he murmured. Ghost devoured it, then vanished, but returned the next day, another leaf in tow. Their ritual became sacred. Each morning, Ghost arrived with a leaf, sycamore, oak, ginkgo, placed ceremoniously on the counter. John reciprocated with fish scraps and a bowl of fresh water. He began calling him Sushi, a joke that stuck. Regulars cooed over the cat's ingenuity, tossing extra coins into John's jar. For Sushi's college fund, they'd tease. But winter's bite soon sharpened. Icicles daggered from rooftops, and Sushi's visits grew sporadic. One evening, John noticed the untouched fish by the door. His stomach dropped. He waited until dusk, breath fogging the air, before grabbing a flashlight. "Sushi," he called, voice fraying. The streets answered with silence. Near a frozen gutter, a flicker of movement, Sushi lay crumpled, fur-crusted with snow and blood. A tire tread marred his flank. His breaths were shallow, each wheeze a knife to John's heart. "No, no, no," John choked, cradling the limp body. Sushi's eyes slid open, a weak mule escaping. "Don't let me die here." The vet's waiting room reeked of antiseptic. A clock ticked louder than Sushi's heartbeat. Multiple fractures. A rib punctured his lung, the vet said, snapping x-rays to a light box. John's knees buckled. "Surgery's risky. He's weak." "Do it," John growled. "I'll pay whatever." The hours blurred. John paced, clutching Sushi's last leaf, a crumpled birch relic. Memories ambushed him. His wife's laughter, her final days in a hospital bed, his powerlessness. "Not again. Please." At 3 a.m. the vet emerged, mask dangling. "He's alive." John sobbed into his hands. "But he's not out of the woods." The next 48 hours. Sushi's recovery was a war. Bandages swaddled his torso, tubes fed him nutrients. John visited daily, ignoring the shop's decline. "Fight, you stubborn thing," he'd whisper, stroking Sushi's paw. One afternoon, a raspy purr rattled from the cage, a sound so frail yet defiant. John pressed his forehead to the bars. "That's it. Show me that spirit." Weeks later, Sushi hobbled into John's apartment, still favoring his right leg. The once feral cat now sought laps, nuzzling John. John's palm with a scarred muzzle. At the shop, regulars gasped at Sushi's return. "Miracle cat," they cheered. But John saw the shadows, the way Sushi flinched at car horns, the nightmares that made him twitch in sleep. Years later, the fish market thrives. Tourists snap photos of the framed birch leaf above the counter, its edges brittle but preserved. Sushi, now plump and glossy, dozes in a sunbeam, his favorite fish plushie tucked beside him. But every night as John flips the closed sign, he places a morsel of salmon on a chipped plate. Beside it, a fresh leaf, maple, oak, whatever the season offers. Sometimes he lingers watching twilight paint the streets. "You taught me more than I ever taught you," he murmurs to the sleeping cat. Sushi's tail flicks as if swatting away the past. Outside, autumn leaves skitter across the pavement, carrying stories only the broken and mended understand.